like to call it movement instead of exercise, because exercise makes many people nervous. Exercise for a lot of people is going and lifting weights. Exercise for a lot of people is doing something that will make you huff and puff and sweat. And it doesn't have to be that way. So before we get too much into exercise, here are a few facts that I would like to mention. I don't know how many of us know this, but yes, we have over 650 muscles. Not all of them can be voluntarily exercised. Some of them are involuntary muscles, and we don't have control, direct control over them, I should say. And here is something exciting. Muscle is 3 times more efficient at burning calories than fat. What does that mean? If we want to lose weight, pack on some muscle. The best way to keep the weight off. The more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn, because muscle maintenance needs calories. Many a times when people are exercising or doing some kind of movement and they're sweating a lot, they feel like, lots of fat lost. Unfortunately not. There is no direct correlation between how much you sweat and how much fat we lose. Because sweating is just a mechanism for the body to cool itself. And somebody's body may heat up sooner than somebody else's, with much lesser activity than somebody else's. So sometimes we are misguided into thinking that if I sweat a lot means I have burnt a lot of calories. Me, for one, I barely sweat. That does not mean that I don't burn calories when I'm exercising, but I don't sweat as much. Men and women respond differently to exercise. And the reason I want to mention this here is because when I don't do it anymore, but when I was training clients for fitness, the women clients, oftentimes when I encourage them to lift weights, the response was, oh, I'm going to be muscular. And what I have to say to that is that if you can't grow a mustache, then you cannot be bulky and muscular like a man is going to be. Because we are wired differently. We have different hormones. We have different levels of hormones. And so we are not going to bulk up the way men do. Yes, we will tone up very nicely, but not bulk. And 30 minutes of workout can boost our mood for up to 12 hours. I think that's a good incentive to work out. That's a disproportionate benefit. And here's something very important. Exercise alone is not going to promote weight loss and is not going to promote losing fat in a certain area. A lot of times we are worried about our waistline. Men are worried about their bellies and, oh, I just want this abdominal fat to go away. And so I'm going to do crunches. Crunches is going to give you strong abs, not a flat stomach, because the body doesn't know that you're doing crunches to lose fat over your belly. What the body is doing is it's losing fat all over. It's not going to lose fat in a specific area. So the fat loss has to be initiated for the entire body. And that's when you're going to lose that fat over the hips, over the belly, wherever we want it. But no exercise is going to promote fat loss in a specific area. Yes, you will tone the area. So you would see a difference there, but not fat loss necessarily. And exercising alone is not going to be enough to lose weight. And I mentioned this because, again, when I signed up clients for fitness training, I specifically asked what the goal was. And if the goal is weight loss, I made it very clear that you're not going to lose all the weight that you want to through exercise alone unless you spend hours exercising. Because at the end of the day, the equation is calories in, calories out. So if you are exercising, expending a certain amount of calories, and you are putting in more than what you have expended during the day, weight loss is not going to happen. And here's something that is really worth paying attention to, because it may seem like, yes, you're losing 80% muscle mass, but what does that translate into as far as day-to-day life goes? You've lost strength, probably lost balance, which also means that one may have more falls as we get older and bones are not taken care of, which means more bones are breaking and a bunch of stuff going on. So it's not just losing fat, but we also want to losing muscle. So we also want to look at the implications of what happens when we lose that muscle. The body's not strong anymore to support its structure, and that's a big problem. And what is interesting is that our posture has an impact on our health. It has an impact on our health, and as we get older, if we don't have enough muscle, we are going to be in a compromised posture, which means it's going to doubly impact our health.